Good afternoon, one and all.
A very good afternoon to one and all. I take this opportunity to welcome you all to the ACM Student Chapter VIT-AP ACM Tech Talk Series 3 Career Guidance and Internship Opportunities sponsored by Versio. The most common doubts among students like what are internships? Are internships mandatory for engineering students? How to prepare and plan for interviews? Such key topics are going to be discussed in this webinar. Now, talking about the exciting rewards which have in the box are the internships. As the internships will be given based on an active participation, I would like to request all the participants to grace the webinar till the end. Now, let me avail this opportunity to introduce today's speaker, Mr. Ajay Billav, Assistant Vice President at Versio. Mr. Ajay has been graduated with a Bachelor of Engineering focused in computer science. He is an experienced operation team manager with a demonstrated history of working in the e-learning industry. Mr. Ajay is proficiently skilled in SQL, Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Word, and well versed with the presentation skills and public speaking. Mr. Ajay is now currently working as Assistant Vice President at Versio. Now, let us all welcome today's speaker, Mr. Ajay Billav, to start the webinar. Thank you.
Thank you so much for such a kind welcome. and As you guys know, it's Ajay Billav, and I'm an operation manager. I'm an assistant vice president of operations in Versio. I take care of backend operations in Versio. Uh, Before I proceed with the webinar, I would like to ask a few things, and I would like to thank for giving me the opportunity, ACM and VIT. Okay. So I would like to ask few of the things like the audience that we have gathered over here. I would like to know what kind of audience it is. So that is what year you guys are in, and what all domains or else what all streams that you are into. Students, you can respond in the chat so that I can just take a look. Okay, CSC first year, BTech, CSC second year, fresher second year. Okay, most of you, I believe, you are in first and second year. Any third year or final year students have joined? Okay, great. I think that would work. Uh, I have planned my presentation accordingly so that it might help you for your placements and for your coming preparation part. And host, if you can provide Mr. Venkat Sai the presentation access, I think he'll be going ahead with the slides.
I have been assigned, so I have given it.
Okay, great. Mr. Venkat, you can go ahead with presenting the slide. And students, how are you all doing? How is your health? Had your lunch?
Yes, sir, and good.
Great. Okay, as you might have know about what webinar gonna be. So it is purely on your placement related things, or else for your interview preparation part. What kind of things that you need to keep in your mind so that it will be helpful for you. If you are in first and second year, I think it will be you will be pre-ready when you are going for your third year or fourth year. And if you're already in third year or fourth year, I believe you can take few of the notes and you can get things into the mind so that whenever you're attending the interviews, you will be well prepared and you will be confident enough to go ahead with that. So are you guys excited?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Great.
Definitely
Let's
yes.
keep the session interactive. Anyways, the chat option is available. If you have any doubts or anything to ask in between, you can definitely ping me so that it won't be a just what you say a PPT session which is going out from my end. Okay, I want you to ask few of the questions in between also, and I'll definitely interact with you so that you won't sleep off after having a heavy meal. Is that clear, guys?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Okay, let's move on to the first slide. Yep. As as you have already been welcomed for the webinar and what I'm going to be presenting, and you have an idea on that. So just to give you a brief on the topic, so I'll be going ahead with skills required to ace software engineering interviews at product based companies. So specifically I am considering product based company. I'll come back to that, what all differentiation and what all things that will be there on product and service based. Okay, so let's consider today's agenda. That will be general interview process. What kind of interview process, what all things that you need to keep in your mind, and how many rounds will be there in interviews, and what exactly will happen in each interview. So all those part I'll be specifying on, and presentation sorry, preparation strategy. So how to prepare, and preparing for those interviews, what kind of skill sets or what kind of things which are required for getting that strategy in your head, and preparation resources, where to prepare, how to prepare, what all things which are needed for preparation. Something on that I'll be speaking about. And the interview hour. So what is interview hour? I meant is when you are attending an interview for a span of 40 minutes or something, what all things that you should take care of, so that that 40 minutes or 1 hour interview that you will be giving, you'll create an impact over there so that an interviewer will be impressed uh, by the way that you will be speaking in the interview. Okay, I'll explain on those part. And application process, resume, LinkedIn profile, and referrals. So all these are the important part, apart from other things also, which might fetch you a good job apart from the campus placements that you are attending. So these are the 5 points that I'm keeping in my hand, and I'll be explaining on. And apart from this, or along with this, if you have anything to ask, you are welcomed and you can go ahead with that. Okay, so let's move on to the next slide without any redo. And I'll try to stick on to the point as much as possible, because I have been given with the time of 3 to 5 2 hours. I'll try to go ahead with that itself. But if there is anything where I need to stretch a bit, I would request college to provide few time at the end, so that if any important information is missed out, I can address it to the crowd. Okay, so as I've already mentioned, before we jump into the general interview process, what is interview process and everything, let's consider our uh, current industry. So we have two kind of companies, that is product based and service based. Can anyone tell or can anyone give an example of few product based and service based company? If you can just write it down in the chat, that might help out.
Microsoft product based company.
I can't hear you. Can you be a little louder?
Microsoft.
Accenture. Okay.
Amazon.
Google you have mentioned. So that is product or service?
There'll be product-based companies basically.
A product-based company is like Capgemini,
Okay.
and next is Microsoft,
Okay.
Amazon.
Okay, great. So you can ping it in chat so that I can read it out. I think Kandukuri says Facebook, Amazon product based, Infosys service, Samsung product based. Great. So few examples that I would like to mention it as product based. That would be Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Twitter, PayPal, and Flipkart. So these are the companies which is current in trend, and along with that, these are product based also. And service based, if I have to give an example, that is Infosys, Accenture, Wipro, HCL, and many more. So what exactly the difference that you will be going at with product based and service based are? I think on the technical part, you might have an idea what exactly the product based company deals with and what kind of product they what do you say build and they sell it to the consumers. So and for the part of packages that they offer, few of the companies, let's say Microsoft, Amazon, and Google. So the packages ranges from 12 lakh to 50 lakh per annum. Okay, and service based, if we consider it, might go for around 3 lakh to 5 lakh. And especially Microsoft, I think it starts or it goes around with around 42 lakh LPA, Amazon for around 32 lakh LPA, and Google for around 50 or 55 lakh LPA. It depends upon the profiles that you are going at with and the job role that you are taking. So these are the product based and service based company that are there in the market currently, and what exactly that you are targeting and what is the end goal that you are fixing on individual company. Let's say it might be on product based or service based. So that clear cut picture that you need to keep in your mind. And to go ahead with, I think it is bit easy to crack service based company and bit difficult for product based part, because the requirements and the interview rounds that usually product based company go ahead with are bit different, and it might be dependent on an individual what do you say colleges or resumes also. Resumes in the sense the skill sets that an individual having. Okay, so upon that it differs, but I believe to go ahead with service-based company, it is bit easy to clear an interview compared to product-based company. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Okay, so as you can see, general off-campus interview process. What is the off-campus interview process that you are going ahead with? I believe your college have on-campus interview also, but why I am stressing it on off-campus interview, or else few of the things that you can use it for your on-campus interview also. The main problem, or else the main difficulties that you face when you enter your third year or fourth year are the things that you need to keep in your mind, that what kind of resumes or what kind of assessments or tests or interviews are held. So these things that you need to keep in your mind so that it will be easy for you. So off campus, don't just stick on to your on campus placements, because you might be having a n number of what do you say companies coming into your campus drives. Okay, you are attending your interviews, you are clearing few companies and you are getting a placement over there also, but don't limit yourself to anything which is specific. Okay, let's say if you have a company X company coming into your college and you have got a placement over there, and if you are eligible and if you are really good to crack an interview outside which has a better package, then definitely try for that also. Don't limit yourself, because if a good company comes and if you are selected for that outside, because cracking an interview outside a campus is a bit difficult, but if you are having an idea and if you are uh, uh, good in that particular part to how to crack an interview outside, then I think it is a good impression on your part itself, and I think you might be provided with a better package compared to the on-campus drives also. But just make sure that if you are attending off-campus drives, you keep something in your hand, that is some company in your hand, so that if you are switching also, you'll have an X amount or else an X package with you before you switch or else before you look for a different company. Okay, so let's proceed with the slide without any redo. As I think the interviews, there are certain interviews that will be conducted by a company depending upon the company requirements. Let's say a company might be a well-established company, Microsoft, Amazon, or Cisco, or anything it might be. Okay, so over there, what exactly it happens is there are certain rounds that has been kept. That is a criteria that you need to go at. So if it is a startup company, there might be a different scenario. I'll come back to that also. What changes will be there if it is a startup or else if it is a well-established company. Okay, so I think you might already know the initial interview round gonna be online assessment. Online assessment has a different set of criteria that they take into the picture. That will be MCQs, multiple choice questions, which includes apti and CS fundamentals and basic programming. Okay, so it doesn't have to be only apti or only CS fundamental related questions or programming related. So it can be a mixture of all these, and along with that a coding question, which gives a better idea that how you are with the skill sets on the coding related part. Okay, so all this will be coming into the picture, and both are only coding questions depending on the company. So that is, let's say a company goes for MCQs which has only apti and CS fundamentals. It doesn't have to be that they'll be going ahead with programming or coding related questions in MCQs at the initial round. It depends on the company that they are going ahead with. But you can definitely make sure of that apti and CS fundamentals and basic something a basic programming where which might be related to debugging on the error, like what error it might be. Okay, so something like that. So it depends upon the company, and it depends upon the role that you are going ahead with. And for the second round, that is second and third round, there might be chances where initial one and round one and round two will be there. Round three might not be there if the complexity of the interview is more. If there might be chances where round one and round two will be there if there is any need where managers will come into the picture. So what they decide is they go ahead with testing the candidate again in the third part. Okay, in the third round. So they, let's say if there is a dedicated team which a candidate wanted them to be deployed in. Okay, so in that scenario, what it will happen is along with round one and round two, there might be one more round that gonna be going ahead with, and this will be technical face-to-face round. uh, Most of you are from CS background, right? Was there any situations or any scenario that you guys have already attended any interviews? Can I get a answer in a chat? Anyone have attended few interviews you might have got an opportunity in? Ankam says no, Kovi says nope. No. Okay, great. So I'll come back to this part also. What is the importance of your interviews? Okay. Let me finish this second point. As I've already mentioned, round one gonna be purely on MCQ based, where uh, most of the part I think you might already know. An interview process is nowadays it is not a selection process; it is elimination process. If there is around 100 or 500 candidates applying for one particular role, they won't select the candidate on that. They will go ahead with rejecting a candidate initially, and after that whoever is left out, they'll figure out who is the best fit for that particular role. Okay, so that just to make sure that you are good at the things that you have applied or else that you have taken up, uh, you prepare yourself in such a way that you are really good from the others whom they have applied for that particular role. Okay. In the second round or the third round, that face-to-face interview that you will be attending, mostly two, but there can also be three in some companies. As I've already mentioned, it doesn't have to be only two rounds. There can be three rounds also, 2 to 3 rounds that you will be going ahead with. Over here, an important part that you need to note down is data science algorithms. Guys, you can take it in a double quote or else I'll stress it again if you require. Data science algorithms are important. So wherever you go, if you apply for a technical interviews or else technical related jobs, software development or full stack development related to websites or anything it might be, data science algo, and if it is related to machine learning or Python developer or anything it might be, there will be one or two questions on data science you can expect it. So you make sure that you learn these concepts, what to learn and what are the things that you need to understand. I'll speak on that also in the coming slide. Okay, and the questions that you will receive on data science, an interviewer will expect a clean code. What is a complete clean code? You don't have to write whole coding of around 1 page or 2 page with all the functions and all those things. So an interviewer will be expecting the algorithm that you will be using or else a code from the initial part till the end, the structure, how you build it and how you can explain it. So those things will be expected from the interviewer. Okay, so you don't have to sit and write whole code and with all the classes, with all the functions, with all the colons and these things. So that you can do it whenever you are having something like you have to implement a code in a compiler. Okay, so that time you can do it, but if not, then you expect it to present a clean code which explains it in a blank paper properly, or else you can explain it to a interviewer which gives the expected output or else whatever he's expecting, he or she is expecting. Okay, and one more thing that gonna be is computer science fundamentals. Okay, so that are DBMS, OOPS concepts, operating systems, and computer networks. I believe students who are in third year, I believe few of the concepts might have been introduced to you already. Can I get a hands up or can I get an answer in the chat? Have you come across DBMS, OOPS, OS, and CN concepts? Okay, Jayan says yes. Okay, great. So whatever your college is providing at the initial part, right, from first year till third year, so they are building your basics. So in the sense like they are strengthening your base. You make sure that whatever you are understanding or else whatever projects or assignments that you are working on and your lecturers are providing you the information, right, you get that really strengthened. Sorry, anyone is speaking? Okay, no, cool. uh, Venkat, can you go back to the previous slide itself? Okay, thank you so much. Yep, so I was mentioning that these are the concepts DBMS, OOPS, OS, and CM. So where you need to at least, if not master it, at least get your basic strengthened, because wherever you go, whatever interview that you attend, these are the topics that definitely it will be there. And if you go for service-based company, operating system and computer networks, you can definitely bet on it will be there. Okay. And as I mentioned, along with data science algorithms, sorry, data structures algorithm, there will be CS fundamentals also, which has a major role. But you don't forget, or else you don't ignore these topics which are important. Okay. And in the second and third round, there will be a discussion on your resume. Uh, so let's say whatever the resume that you prepare, right? I think first year, second year students, you might have a resume. You can check your resume with your friends. Most of the things, 80 to 90% of your resume will definitely, what do you say, match with your friend's resume, because from your BTech or else B, your resume will have the similar points, right? Whatever the program that, whatever the course that you have taken up, the same course or the same subjects your friend also might have. And the excellence that you are having on individual topics, so that might vary, but apart from that, everything will be similar. But you make sure that whatever you write in your resume, it should be in such a way that whoever is reading it, that is what I meant is an interviewer, whenever an interviewer sees it, uh, they should be have an interest. Okay, this is something different what I have seen from different other candidates. Okay, so these are the things that you need to make sure of. Guys, how is my face? Am I going a bit slow or fast?
It's okay, sir.
Can I get a response from everyone? Because if I speak continuously and after that, if you feel like it is slow, then again, slow. Okay. Okay, great. If you am too slow or too fast, just let me know in between so that I can change the phase. Okay, great. So Ravi says, is it helpful in the internship at Google if I will be a 5-star coder in CodeChef? Definitely. So whatever rectification that you are getting, right? So let's say if you have done good work in Geeks for Geeks or else CodeChef, that you have a good points in CodeChef, and if you have some certifications or else some hacker rank questions that you have cleared or else tests that you have cleared, so those are the additional point which showcase you uh, uh, in that interview round. Okay, so I'll come back to that part also in the different slide. Okay, I'll just make you aware of the few basics things so that we can proceed with. Okay, it doesn't have to be like you are a good level coder, what do you say, a hardcore coder or something like that. It doesn't have to be, but you make sure that whatever uh, things or else whatever topics that you know, you are strengthening that topic daily, or else you are really good at it, or else you master it, so that whatever problems that might arrive on that particular topic, you should be able to solve it. Okay, so prepare yourself in such a way so that you'll be ready for that problem whenever it arrives. Okay, I'll come back to that point again. And as I've mentioned, in second and third round, there will be a resume discussion will happen, where they will be drilling, or else they'll be grilling on your resume. They will completely go through your resume. They will ask questions related to the resume, whatever you have written. Don't fake your resume anywhere, because it is nothing but your portfolio. Whatever you have done, you have presented in your resume. So make sure that whatever you write it, you know it, and whatever let's say few information that you might have started just now, or else you might have forgotten it to mention it in your resume. So you tell about it. You tell that this is my resume and I have all these skill sets and few of the points which I have recently I have worked on, or else some projects I have recently I have worked on. So all those things you can address it to the interviewer. Okay, so this is gonna be happening in your round 2 and round 3 face-to-face interviews. And final round, that is your HR interview process. Nothing but it can be a managerial process where in which you're deployed on. Let's say you're working on a front end development project. That respective manager will take an interview because he is the person who will be providing you the project details, or else you will be reporting that to that particular manager. So that is the reason it might be a managerial round, or else it might be a final interview round where your salary discussion will also happen. That is bar raisal. If it is your fresher, then it might be a salary discussion. If you are looking for a change, then it might be an appraisal, or else whatever the benefits that you are getting from a previous organization. So you'll be going ahead with the raise on that particular round. So make sure that in the first initial interviews, you create an impact in such a way where at the final interviews, they should be able to provide you the number that you are expecting for. Number in the sense, the packages that you are going ahead with, because off-campus interviews or else off-campus packages are variable. Okay, it doesn't have to be. Let's say if you are eligible for 30 lakhs package, and or else if the company is providing a 30 lakhs package, and if you are eligible for 35 to 40 lakhs package, the negotiation gonna happen in this final interview itself. Okay, that completely depends upon the role that you are taking on, and the skill sets that you have. Okay, so these are the all rounds that I'll be going at with. I'll come back to the individual part again, and just make sure that in the final interview where it is uh, qualification part, where what I can say is it will decide that if you are well fit for that particular role or not. There are chances where you might get rejected in the final round also. There might be different scenarios. You can ask your super seniors or anyone who might have attended the interviews. So they will tell in the initial round, first round, second round, and third round, it really went well, but final round they couldn't able to clear it. I'll come back to that, what might be the reasons. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, now you know that what are things that is there and what is important. So let's discuss on the preparation strategy, what you should do for the preparation part, because at the end of the day that does matter, right? So if you know the rounds, it doesn't help you out, but what you should do to qualify in that round, that is needed. And yeah, so initially I have mentioned data structures and algorithms. So keep a major focus on it. It doesn't have to be if you are a CSE, or else if you are a ECE or anything. Let's say if you are planning for a technical role or technical job that you are going ahead with, you make sure that these are the minimum skill sets that you have, or else these are the minimum topics that you should touch on, and you should be well thorough on. Yeah, because whatever the goals that you are setting, right, it might be a company that you are a dream company that you are applying for. So if you are not able to at least reach that particular goal, you will end up in the end up in some company which is similar to that, or else which company might be giving an offer or else a package which is similar to that. Okay, so all the companies will have these basic requirements, that is data structures and algorithms, OOPS concepts, and computer science fundamentals, as I've already mentioned, MCQ preparation part, system design and puzzles. So these are the things, as you know, but where to refer, what all things that is required, I'll come back on that part. Okay, and so this is the thing that an interview process will usually ask. So let's say if you have a good idea on this and you want to go for something else, you can definitely try to do that. But what I recommend is, instead of going for a different approaches, you can strengthen your skills on that particular topic again, so that you won't miss out any opportunities or else any questions related to data structures or OOPS concepts or anything. Okay, so whatever has been asked, you make sure that you follow the same thing. And OOPS concepts, what all the important topics that might ask in OOPS concepts, that can be an encapsulation, polymorphism, inheritance. So these are the things that you need to build your strength on. Okay, so make sure that whatever the classes, functions, or anything that you are using, because OOPS, wherever you go, it won't leave you. Data structures and OOPS, it won't leave you. Okay, it doesn't have to be an individual language. You go ahead with any language, but you make sure that the fundamentals, or else um, uh, 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 the topics that has been already needed for that particular role, right? You master it. Okay, so these are the things that you should go with and you should be really good at. Okay, and computer science fundamentals, DBMS, OS, and C, computer networks. To go ahead with CN and OS, it is not mandate that every company will ask. Okay, but DBMS and this thing, operating system, there might be high chances that DBMS will occur in many of the interview questions. That is in the initial round, MCQ based, or the second round. Okay, and CN and OS, there might be chances where it can occur in some service-based companies. But if you are planning for a product-based companies, you can focus on DBMS and the base computer science fundamentals. Okay, and MCQ preparation part, C++, Java, the language that you are really thorough with. Guys, what all the languages that you are currently studying, or else that you know really well? What do you think? Which language is better?
Java.
Okay, Gagan says Java. Tanvi says Java, Kotlin, C, Python. Okay, Python. Java and Python. Okay. 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 So here, what is the misconception is, language is just a communication media. Okay, to a compiler or else to a machine. It doesn't have to be that you should be really good at you should be having all the knowledge on all the things or something like that. Okay, so there is a friend of mine who is having a good skill sets or good command in C++, and the person is in Twitter. Okay, so it doesn't have to be like that, but you make sure that you are having a better idea. But what I would definitely recommend is, you can go for Java and Python. C++ is also have a scope. Okay, because Java and C++ are more secure. Okay, where it comes, but currently there is not something like all the companies are following that particular language itself. It depends upon the company and the project that manager is working on, or the company is working on also. Okay, so basically, if you have a good command in Python and or a good command in Java, that is more than enough, because majority of the languages serve the purpose of same. And if you learn one particular language, and there is a company which is working on a different language, you can migrate to that language easily, because you know the concepts already, and you know the language which is similar, and you can definitely use that, and you can learn a different language, whatever is using. Okay, but I would recommend to go ahead with Java and Python, because most of the app related, or else most of the companies, current industries are have accepted Python and they are going ahead with that. And Java is also the one because banking related, security related, all those things are going ahead with Java and structures which is used in Java. Okay, so there is no restrictions that you don't have to go for C. C also you can use, but still most of the industry don't go ahead with that. They usually go with either C++, Java, or Python. Okay, and let's say if you have already learned C++ and it is not hard to learn the concepts of Java and Python, because if you know C++ and Java thoroughly, Python is a dead subject or else a dead easy language that you can use, because most of the functions or most of the things are similar, and there is not a lot of restrictions that has been given in Python. Okay, so you can utilize it and you can go ahead with that. So to continue with that, and there is new thing that has come, system design. Anyone know about system design? Venkat, can you go ahead with previous slide itself? Guys, anyone tell about system design? What are the levels of system design? Did anyone hear it previously, or any chance that you might have come across? Okay. So there is a new trend which is going ahead, that is system design. There are two categories, low level and high level system designs. Usually a fresher is not being asked on this because of the basic criteria that has been already set and whatever is required. But if you are going for a off campus interview, you can, or else you might expect few of the questions related to that on low level designs also. Okay, but if you are a experienced person and if you are going for a change, job change or something, and you can expect few questions related to that. Okay, but nothing more to concentrate on system design if you have a well-versed knowledge on the previous 4 topics. Okay, so that is one part. And puzzles are for your better portraying skills. So that is standard puzzles that will be given to you. What kind of puzzles? It might be related to water jug problem, or else it might be related to 3 balls problem, or else it might be related to a rope problem. So these are the few questions which might arrive, and there are a lot of chances where the questions that has been already asked in an interview, right, that will definitely repeat in a coming interview. So if you are going for a different company and if you are attending an interview over there, there might be a heavy chance that the questions will repeat. Okay, so you go ahead with the things that you have already learned, or else if you are planning for learning that concepts. Okay, and yep, so let's go to the next slide. Yeah, great. So in the previous slide, whatever the 6 topics that has been mentioned, you make sure that you are really good at it, so that it is more than enough to crack an interview to get a good position in a product based company. Okay, so those are the ones. And in MCQs, that's what SQL queries you can expect, that I have forgot to add it up in the previous slide. Okay, so yep, as I have mentioned on the data structures and algorithm, uh, why product-based companies give more stress on data science algorithm? Because it will showcase your skill sets, that is on problem solving and on reasoning or apti related things. Okay, so that is the main reason that company usually go ahead with data science, data structure related questions. Logical reasoning and problem solving skill sets are highly stressed in this particular concepts. and you can definitely expect 1 or 2 questions in your interviews. Make sure that if you are in first year or second year, you are having data structures subject currently. Okay, you make sure that you be attentive in the classes, you learn the topic well, so that whenever you are attending the third year or fourth year, you will be prepared on that. And again, language doesn't matter, guys. Language doesn't matter. Whatever the logic that you will be building, whatever the functions that you'll be using. So you can either go with C++, Java, Python, whatever I've mentioned. If you know other concepts, other languages also, well and good. There is no restrictions to not to use those. You can definitely go with that, but make sure that you master that particular language. Okay, so that whatever new variations or new implementations are coming in that particular language, you accept it and you implement it. Okay. And again, I would like to partition this particular data structure algorithm into three. That is basic understanding. Basic understanding, what I meant was the language basics. So if you are learning from scratch, if you don't know Python, or if you don't know C, C++, Java, or any language, you don't have to worry about it. Start it now from the day one. Okay, build it, or else try to work on from the Hello World program at the initial part where the colon is used. Colon is used or not, functions are used, classes are used. Check on that, and according to that you can move ahead with that. Okay, so but make sure, I'll stress it again, make sure the language that you learn, you have a good knowledge on it, so that whenever an interviewer asks in between a particular code that you have written what exactly that is, you should be able to answer it. Okay. And in engineering, as I am also an engineer, there are practices where you copy a code, or else you get the code from internet directly. You can do it. You can take help of internet for understanding the code. You copy it. You take it from Geeks for Geeks, or if it is ready made, which is already there in the internet. So check it, go through the code from the beginning till the end, and see if you do a minor changes in it, will the output affect, or else what kind of output you might get it, or else if it is related to machine learning or else algorithms, then what kind of efficiency variation that you can get if you change an algorithm in between. I think you are a bit young, and you are in the stage of initial one, first year and second year. You might not have an idea on MLAI related things at the initial part. But whenever you enter your third year or fourth year, algorithm based learning, you'll be starting, if I'm not wrong. Do you have machine learning or else neural networks, which is there in your curriculum?
Yes, sir.
Great. In which semester, may I know?
In fourth sem, sir.
In fourth sem, yeah, that's all. So make sure that whenever you are attending or else machine learning or neural networks related things, right, for that you need a language. So you can understand the concepts, you can understand the theory behind it, but you can't implement it if you don't know the language. So understand or else learn the language at the initial part. First year and second year, dedicate yourself to learn the basic fundamentals, languages, and everything. And when you go for your third year, you will be dedicating your tenure of 2 year corely on implementation process. So that is building algorithms, because code anyone can write. Logic behind the code is important. I think if you are sitting for your lab exams, your lecturers will provide a question which is pre-built question. I think in current engineering backgrounds, or else in the education system, what exactly we are lagging is we have pre-built everything. Okay, we have input, we have output which is ready, what kind of things that are there, everything is ready, but make sure that the logic who had created it, right, to solve that problem, so that is the mind that have taken, or else that is the work that has been given to solve that particular problem. So you should have the ability to go ahead with solving the problem. So these kind of extra things that you should start learning and you should start implementing at the initial stage. Okay, and complexities. What is complexities? That is time complexity and space complexity. I think you might have an idea on that. So whatever problem that you are dealing with, right? Let's say it might be a simple problem. What have given previously related to puzzle, a three ball problem or jug and water problem. So what is the time complexity? What is the space complexity of everything? You need to understand, or else you need to know. Can you calculate a time and space complexity on that? Best case and worst case, great. Patil says that, yeah, that is the thing. So what is your outcome on it? How much time that you have spent, or else that your code can take to implement, or else to solve that particular problem. So all those things are needed, because getting an output is not an important. The way that you are getting an output and what is the difference that you are uh, uh, making in that particular code, that matters a lot. Okay, and standard interview problems. These are the interview problems which is most commonly used in any interviews. I'll give you few of the referral part where you can see and you can use it for your interviews. Okay, so that might be. Give me a minute. Yeah, so few of the links or a few of the names that I'll take out in the next slide. You don't have to worry, and just make sure that. So there are set of questions. So let's say around 1,500 or else 1,500, 200, 300 set of questions which is already pre-used, because a lot of company and lot of interviewers don't have that much of time to build a problem dedicated to it. They will use set of problems or set of questions which is already been repeated. Okay, so what you need to do is go through the problems again and again, go through the questions, the codes that has been already been used, and solve those problems, so that it will be easy for you to understand, and whenever it comes in your upcoming interview, you can give a better result, and you can give a better output, or else an explanation on that code also. So just make sure that whatever you learn it properly and you practice it again and again and again, until unless you are thorough on that concept. Is that clear, guys? Any doubts that you have till here? Guys, you are
No,
not
sir.
bored, right?
No, sir.
No, sir. Actually, we are interested.
Great. Any questions that you have till this slide? Okay, great. So let's move on to the next slide then. Okay. So as data structured is done, OS, DBMS, and CN, computer network. So few of the resource that you can take a note on, because it might be helpful for you. Few of the unpaid, what do you say, reference that you can use. Free resources which you can take from YouTube, that is Knowledge Gate by Sanchit Jain. Okay, you can just take a note on it. These are really useful links or else materials that is already there, and you can use Uncode from Gate Computer Science, that is Ravindra Babu Ravula. This is the author that has already provided the information on that. Okay, and one more is Gate Smashers. You can use all these resources to understand or to learn better. And Geek for Geek, for sure, you will get plenty of questions and plenty of codes which is already been solved or which is already used in interviews. So let's say whoever an interviewer or a company uses particular problem solving techniques or else questions, right? So that will be taken and that will be posted in Geeks for Geeks for sure. So you can utilize this and you can learn these concepts over here. And top interview questions. So once this all three things or four things is done, right? once you go to the YouTube and check out these things and everything is done, and try to look for a top interview questions which is being asked in the company. Once go through that, so that you'll get a better idea, and you can use it and you can solve the questions. Okay. And if you get a new questions, so those are the questions that will be portrayed in the top interview questions, and it will definitely build your problem solving uh, techniques. Okay. And yeah, so that will help you to build your mind, and it will give you a better approach to see a problem. So all those things. And paid resources, there are things that you can go ahead with. Geeks for Geeks, there is a paid part also, but that is up to you, because if a dedicated student wants to learn with the free resource and with the things that has been given by us or something like that, you can go with it. And if you want to go ahead with the paid resources also, you can take a look at this and you can definitely go with that. And SQL queries, basic queries, or the queries which you can start implementing or else start practicing, those are from interview bit again. And hacker rank you can use for referral part. And puzzles, again, Geek for Geeks, most of the things you'll find it in Geeks for Geeks. You can use those puzzles and you can try solving it. System design, uh, if you know the other concepts, I don't recommend you to go with this, because it is not that important currently. But if you still, let's say, if you have time, as if you are starting, let's say if you are in first year or second year, you are starting your other concept right now itself, and you have enough time to study system design and other things, other problems, then you can take a look on this also. uh, Concepts and high level design, that is Gaurav saying, pseudocode. Okay, you can search this. If you require it, I'll ask my team to provide the links for this in the chat at the end, so that you can take a look on. And low level design, Soumyajit Bhattacharya LLD playlist, you can check this out also. This all the resource will definitely help you out to build your skill sets apart from your textbook, uh, which has been given by your college or else the lecturers, that those are being provided. Okay, so this will definitely help you out. And let's go to the next slide. So as you know all the concepts and everything, so this comes into the picture where your interview hour. So let's say you are sitting in front of your interviewer in a company. So you know all the concepts and you know all the things. You have studied it. You are in fourth year or third year. You have gone through all the things. So what comes in your mind when you sit in a particular interview? You will have a confidence. You will not have a confidence. Uh, will you be able to speak? Will you be able to not how will you speak? All those things will run across in your mind, right? So that is the part where you should be able to build your mind, because you have the skill sets, you know how to solve a problem, but along with that, how you communicate it to a interviewer, that matters, right? Only having a technical knowledge is not important. The way you portray it or way you present yourself, that is important. So listen carefully whenever a question or else a problem is provided to you in an interview. Okay, so there might be some situations where uh, a interviewer will ask one particular question. You might mishear it or else you understand it in a different way and you start solving a different problem. And he will check, he won't counter you, because he will check your attention and everything in an interview. You will go for 15-20 minutes wasting his time and your time. So that shouldn't happen. So if you are being provided with one particular question, confirm the question. Tell it, oh, is this the same question or not? Or if you mishear it, tell him to repeat it, or else tell him to brief on that question, so that you will be able to answer it better. I think I have received one chat. what backup should we use when we really don't know an interview question beside randomly guessing? So over here, what you can do, that is a great question, by the way, Tanay. Tanay, over here, what you do, don't blindly answer it, or else don't blindly tell that I don't know and sit silent for that. You tell him, I think this is a new question that have come across. I'm really sorry for it. I might have gone through it, or else I might not have gone through it. You apologize for it, and you can ask him, can you elaborate on it, so that if I can recall few of the points which I have gone through. Or else, if you don't know it, if he tells about the problem again, if still you don't know it, then what you can do is, you can tell him, okay, I think this thing might have I have missed out. Is there anything that I can provide you an answer, or else provide a proper solution for a problem? You can ask for a different question. They will provide you a different question. So communication is the part where you tell them, or else you make them understand that, okay, this might you might have missed out, and you will study about it, and you can go for a different question. So that's the way that you tackle an interview, or else a question which you don't know. Okay. And over here, as you listen to a problem or a question properly, right, and there might be some chances where they leave holes or gaps in the question. So holes or gaps, what I meant to say is, there might be some clues or some how I can tell is, there might be some part, puzzle kind of thing, which might be missing in an interview. So what you should do is, you can ask the interviewer, okay, this is how the question goes, or or sometimes you can tell, is there anything that has been missed out from this particular question? You can ask for it, then they will reply. Sometimes if the candidate are not asking for it voluntarily, they will telling that these are the clues that you can go ahead with. Okay, utilize those things and try to build your what do you say, resolution or else solution for the problem. Are negative numbers allowed, duplicate numbers allowed, minimum or maximum size, etc.? So these are the examples. So these kind of things, if you are working on an array, so you can ask and ask a question, something like, is the array empty, is it a null, or how is the stack arranged? So these kind of questions that you can ask. And talk and code. Don't blindly take a paper. Okay, if a program has been given to you, or code or query has been given to you, and the interviewer asks for a resolution for it, don't just take a paper and sit idle for 15-20 minutes thinking on the solving. Communicate with him. Okay, ask him few questions, share your approaches. So can I use greedy approach, can I use some different approaches, functions, does it allow classes? So all those things you can ask a interviewer, because they will feel happy and they will feel interacted, because you are showing your interest to solve a query. Okay, so all those things you can do. Explain your code properly, explain how it works, what things that you have used, what kind of code that you have used. If you are used your own algorithm, what kind of algorithm that you have used, and talk about space and time complexity. So space and time complexity I have already mentioned. Interviewer usually they don't ask for space and time complexity for every code, but it should be in your habit that you tell about it, because it shows your what do you say, a discipline on the code. So whatever that you have used and how much time it might take on to work on that particular code. Okay, so that thing that you should keep in your mind. And let's say if you don't know up space and time complexity, don't volunteer and tell that do you want space and time complexity or not. If you don't know, then don't speak about it, and if they ask, then tell about it. Okay, why you used a particular data structure or algorithm? Okay, so if they ask why you have used this particular approach, you can go with a different approach also. Then think about it. Can you go with that or not? Don't blindly tell, "Oh, yes, I can go with a different approach." Don't blindly agree on anything. Okay, just think about it for a minute. You can ask for a minute time. Can I get a time to think about a different approach also. If it works, then you can tell the interviewer, oh, this is also an approach that can be used. But you compare it, which is the best approach that you can go with. Okay, if your approach is better, then you tell it different approaches can also be used, but my approach is the best approach that we can use. If your approach is not best, then you can tell it there are different approaches also, but I am currently going ahead with this. We can improve this particular problem by using a different approaches. So these are the kind of answers that you should be having in your head, or else in your mind, whenever it comes, or else whenever it arises. I think I have received one query. So list of questions, Patil, I have mentioned it in a previous slide on this thing, OOPS concepts and data structures and everything. If it is required, I'll provide that particular what do you say, links to my team. They will share it to you, or else you can definitely, this meeting has been recorded, I guess. You can request for the slides. Okay, they will provide you the proper thing that have already been conveyed. Okay. Yep. So that's on your talking about the code and how to interact and test for the edge cases. Edge cases, what I can someone tell what are edge cases? Guys, you're there with me?
Yes, sir.
Does anyone know what is edge case?
No, sir.
Edge cases are the approaches, or let's say it might be related to arrays, stacks, or something. Okay, you might arrive with a question which deals with array. You don't know the array is empty or array anything is there in the array, how the array is arranged, what kind of changes are there. So those are the cases where you need to get it checked with the interviewer, how the stack is being arranged. If you are implementing a stack, then what kind of push or pop approaches are there if you are dealing with it, and functions and classes, what kind of things that you are going ahead with. So all those things comes under that. Okay, just make sure that you are aware of minute things, and if you miss out few things in between, then don't get hesitated about it. If a interviewer points it out, okay, tell them I might have missed out one or a few things over there. I'll definitely try to recall it, and I will go with that. Okay, that should be your approach. And sample dry run if needed. So if needed, in the sense your time will have of around 40 minutes or so for an interview. You won't get plenty of time to solve one or two problems, because if you take more than 1 hour or something like that, then even interviewer will get bored and they might reject you. That is the reason where you go ahead with all the other approaches, and if you get time to do a dry run, that is a run in your mind that how will the program or code work if you run it, okay, with all the classes, functions which is included in it, and you just make the interviewer go through it. So that is the process that you go ahead in an interview. If you have enough time, you go with it. If not, you need not to. And good code quality. So good code quality in the sense you using meaningful variables, functions. Sorry, give me a minute. Yep. Sorry for the disturbance. Yeah, what I was mentioning is using of variable function names on all those things. Everything matters, guys, over here, because your code shows your efficiency and effectiveness of your particular the quality of the code that you have written. Okay. Let's say, suppose if you are writing a function and if you are filling that function with all the things included it, which is not necessary, please don't go with that. And if you have 2 to 3 functions which can be used, if you structure your code in such a way which showcase your code in a better format, let's say it shouldn't be difficult to read your code. It should be in such a way that which is the art that you have built in yourself, that how you segregate your code and how you portray it. Okay, so all those things you keep in your mind. If you get a free time whenever you are writing your college programs, let's say it might be related to OS, or it might be related to oops, anything, it might be oops concepts that you are writing. So try to write it in a such a way. Take help of your faculties, ask them what kind of functions that you can use. And while writing a function names also, don't write random names which is not at all relevant to a code. Okay, so if you are using 2 to 3 functions, all the 3 functions should correlate. And variables name also, if you are using ABC, and you should go with that particular same approach itself. Don't allow different, what do you say, variables in between, so that even an interviewer or whoever is checking your code will get confused. Because college faculties will have a better idea. They check your code for your labs and everything, right? So they come to know that what kind of things that you might have written or everything. Sometimes even they will feel difficulty to check the code if they don't understand what exactly the student have written. So make sure, or else you use all these tactics at the initial part itself. Okay, and well-structured code I have already mentioned. Modular code also. Instead of large function, lengthy function that you are using, try to segregate that function into 2 or 3, and showcase in that particular way itself. And grab hints. Hints in the sense the interviewer will give clue. If you ask for it, they will definitely give. If you don't ask for it also, sometimes they will tell. If it is a difficult problem, they will give you 1 or 2 hints to solve that particular problem. Use those things and come up with a resolution. If after giving a hint also, if you are not able to give a exact output, don't hesitate about it till whatever steps that you have gone with. You mention it to the interviewer that I was able to pull out this particular problem till this function or till this part, but I think then I might have missed out few of the things at the end. So you can take a look, or else you can check it out. So these are the things that you can address it on. Okay, any doubts over here?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, great. Let's move on to the next slide then. Application process. Can anyone tell what are the application? What is the application process, or how you can approach a company? What are the modes? So if you are planning for Amazon, if you are planning for Google, how you can reach out? Because I think there might be many students who are planning for a dream company, right? Okay, someone says LinkedIn. Apart from that, sharing links in profile. Tanay says that. Okay. Twitter. Okay. Referrals. Okay. So all the answers are correct. The most effective part is your community that you build in LinkedIn. Okay. So attending even by that company. So walk in for these kind of companies, or application process for these kind of big shot companies are difficult, to be frank, for a fresher. Okay, that is the thing that you should digest. if you have a referral or if you have someone who is working in that particular company, and for a fresher still that will be difficult. But what you can do is sometimes there is opportunities which is posted in their websites. Okay, you apply it over there. If it is for an internship also, you can go with it, because there are chances where after getting an internship, the chances of converting to a pre-placement is more if you are really eligible. If not, again that will be difficult. Let's say if you are serving in one particular company, and after that if you want to change for a different company, your LinkedIn profile will definitely help. What kind of community that you build. Okay, it doesn't have to be that you have a, 1,000 2,000 followers, but all the followers are your college friends, and they are in at your same level or something. Don't go with that approach. Try to get hands on profiles which are really good. uh, let's say they have a good reach in different companies. Try to follow them and try to provide your resumes, and I'll tell you how to approach them also. Okay, you can try to do that. But make sure that whatever, yeah, hackathons and GitHub, all those GitHub, I'll tell you, GitHub is not that easy, guys, because GitHub profile, what you build, right, that is showcased to all others. That is what I meant is that is a public. So whatever you build in GitHub, they are shown to a different organizations, or a person might be from outside company or else anything. They are looking at your code. So you should build your profile in such a way that they should be attracted to your GitHub. Okay, and you should complete projects which are really good, and you should be able to add that in your GitHub. Okay, these are the things that you need to make sure of. And career sites, company names, career sites, that is what do you say, Monster, or there are different Naukri, there are different career sites where you can push your resume. But over there, what it happens is there are lakhs of candidates, lakhs of engineers who are getting out of the college. So let's say in your college itself. So what is the passing criteria, and after this 2022, how many engineers will be out from your college? So there are plenty, right? So an application process, or those companies, ATS, application tracking software, they track your resume upon the things that you mentioned, because most of the things will be similar. That is a different or difficult approaches, but you can definitely try to go ahead with that also. Okay, filtering process in ATS is difficult, but that's whatever things that you mention in your resume, that should be unique, and it should have weightage in the sense your skill sets does matter. Okay, and if you're looking for internships or jobs, uh, that is on physical internship in particular company or something, you can go with angel.com. Okay, so that is the one that you can use. And referrals are that I've already mentioned. It can be directly in a company, or else it can be from LinkedIn or the community that you build. Okay, so these are the things that you can take a note on. Let's go to the next slide. Where to ask for referrals? LinkedIn, Twitter, and your college seniors. Your college seniors might have already started job in a respected company. If you are planning for that same company or something, you can ask your seniors that is there any vacancy on this particular role, can you refer me over there? Okay, and LinkedIn and Twitter, again, your contact does matter, because no one will refer you until unless you are good. So make sure you build your profile, and you should be uh, in such a what is a position where you should be able to market yourself uh, to the outsiders. Okay, so that is the process. And how not to ask for reference, I'll just tell on this part, because how to ask, I think you know that, but how to not ask, So these are the things. Hello, can you refer me? Hi, can I ask a quick question? Hi, sir, I came to know that uh, the Dash company is hiring. Can you refer me there? Can you help me for such job? So these kind of phrases, please don't use it if you are asking for a random person in a LinkedIn or Twitter, because no one will check your messages randomly and give you a job without knowing you. If you are asking for a referral, make sure you pass your resume and you describe yourself, what all things that you have completed and why you are best fit for that particular job, and why should I or why should the person refer you. Okay, they might get few benefits out of you as a referral bonus or something like that, but still, uh, if you are being referred, then why should they do it? Okay, that is a big reason. You should be able to answer all those things, and then you specify it before asking someone anything. Just specify in a paragraph and just tell it to the person whom you have been asking for. Okay, how to ask for referrals? You just make sure that don't use any WhatsApp emojis. uh, Please help your hello, these kind of things. These kind of things you make sure that you won't use it. And send the job ID, job link. That is, let's say you are looking for that particular job. What is the job role? If you have already contacted or already you have visited the website and you have that link, then ask for the job ID, ask for the job link, or you give the job link and mention it to them. And so that's what. So if you are asking for that particular job role also, it is not their duty to definitely to make you sure that to place you there, but that is just a courtesy to refer you over there, so that if you are really good for it, even company will be beneficial and you will be beneficial. Okay, so don't get 100% reliable thoughts on it, but definitely try to go ahead with it if you are really good at it. Okay, don't forget to attach your resume. Just sending the brief message and after that forgetting about your resume, don't. Usually most of the people will do. Even I do get a lot of, what do you say, messages in my LinkedIn. But whenever you do it, attach your resume also. If it is really good, either they will try to onboard you in their company or else they will refer you outside. Okay, don't text XYZ company employee for referral in ABC company. What I meant is, if you are looking for a job in Google and you are asking an employee of Amazon, please don't do that. Whatever the company that you are looking for, go with the same executives or employees over there if you have a referral over it. Okay, and be respectful and polite. This is important because they are not here to work for you, or else they are not promising you anything. They are trying, or else if you are good, or else if they have courtesy on the on going ahead with referring you, they will definitely go with that. Okay, so these are the things that uh, even for asking for a referral, or else whenever you are writing a mail or messages to your seniors, or else to your LinkedIn follower, or else whomever you are following. So make sure all these things you keep in your mind. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Resume. Resume making is also an art. See what is there. If you have already built your resume, see what is there in your resume. Sit and give your 5 minutes time. That's all. And check your resume. Is it up to the mark? Whatever that you have written is enough or not? Is it more? Don't make a resume more than one page. If you are having an experience of around 5 to 10 years also, they will limit their resume to one complete page, that is front and back. They usually don't go with it. Okay, but if you are having it also, try to limit the things to the specific part and address about the projects that you have done, the skill sets that you have, and extra things that you have done. Okay, and if you have any resume building, what do you say, app, or something like that. You use it and you make it look better, only not in a way that designs that you are using, but whatever you write in your resume, that affects a lot. Okay, don't make any spelling mistakes in your resume, or don't make don't give any false information in your resume about your CGPAs, or to be frank, how much ever frank that you can possible. If you have less grades also, tell it why you have less grades, but what you have done to overcome it. All those things you can mention it. Okay, no one will hire. There might be some criteria for an individual company, 80%, 75%, 90%, 60% also sometimes. That doesn't matter. What matters is your skill sets and what you have in your resume, that is certifications and everything. Just make sure that you are really good at the things that you have, and check your resume scores. Resume world, you can use this particular website, upload your resume and check what is your score. And you can use resume puppy or overleaf to build your resume. Okay, so these are something on your resume. Let's go to the next slide. Any questions, guys? Anything that you need to ask?
No, sir.
Okay, so I'm at my last slide. That is few tips that I would like to give. Do virtual time contest. That is, if there is any inter contest that has been held by your colleges among yourself, participate in it. Whoever laughs or your friend thinks something about it, don't give a damn about it. Okay, because at the end of the day, when you go, currently there is no GD which is happening, group discussions, but previously it was that was a filtering process they used to go with. Now directly calling process happens, where they call you and they check telephonic interviews. If you are good over there, they will select, and or else they will reject it. So make sure that you communicate better, participate in those kind of contests, speak with your community about a few topic. Take one particular topic. It might be related to politics, it might be related to technical topic, or anything it might be. Take few topics, speak about it for an hour in a day. That is more than enough. That is just to build your confidence level when you are speaking. Okay, and mock interviews, mock tests. You can go for Geek, Hacker Rank, or anything. Take tests normally. If you are in second year, third year, also attend interviews for your internships. Randomly attend it. You will get to know what is your scores, how can you perform, how well you can perform. You ask for the feedback from the interviewer, what things that you need to improve, what you can do better for the coming interviews. Those are the things that will make you beneficial at the end of the day. Okay, so keep trying and don't stop just because failed a few times, because interview process is not easy, students. You can write it in a paper or board or anywhere. You might be a class topper, or you might be a backbencher, you might be having few backlogs. That doesn't affect. Only thing that affects is how well you know yourself, how well you can speak, how confident you are, how you can do things which is different from others. All those things come into the picture. When you attend your placements in the third year or fourth year, you'll get a reality check that how well you are in communicating and how well you are in showcasing your skills. Don't beg for a job anytime. Okay, so you might be lagging with few of the concepts or few of the things at the beginning, but make sure that you dedicate yourself and build your skill sets. Don't beg for a job to anyone, to any company or anything it might be. Okay, just build your skill sets and attend interviews, n number of interviews. That will only make you better, and that will give you a confidence that what you might have went wrong with, you will collect all the plus points and negative points, and you work on it. and it sometimes it takes 5, 10, 20, 30 interviews also to give you a good company of your choice. Sometimes it might take 3 to 4 interviews also, depend upon. Okay. So interview giving and interview clearing is also an art. So that is the part that you need to go with. Okay, so that's what on the presentation on the interview and skill sets that